The other kind of chart is logo charts. Before we go into the designs, we need to understand about the major relationships of information, which can be categorized into list, hierarchy, process, and cycle. First of all, for a list, all information are on the same level. For example, these information are talking about different aspects of our company. Our strength, our weakness, our threats, and our opportunities. They are all on the same level, which makes them a list kind of information. To convert list information into an infographic, you can decide whether to place them in columns, rows, or grids, depending on your layout. Let's say you go with the column 1. You can fine-tune by, for example, adding icons, adding colors, adding photos, or changing the shapes. You can also remove the blocks or enlarge the icons for a more simplistic design. Or let's say you went with the row layout. Likewise, you can add icons and colors. It is not ideal to add photos here because of the very narrow bar, but you can always shorten the bars and add a big image on the side. For the grid layout, again, you can add icons or colors or change the shape or even add your logo in the middle. Or you can also remove all the shapes for a cleaner layout or add smaller boxes with icons or spice up the background. So even for a list form of information, there are a lot of possible layouts for you to play with. For hierarchy, process, and cycle, instead of creating from scratch, you can make use of PowerPoint's Smart Art by going to Insert and then Smart Art. Here you can select different kinds of infographics from list to process to cycle, hierarchy, matrix, and more. Let's say you want to use this cycle graphic. Again, it looks terrible. On the left panel, press Enter to determine the number of steps. Let's go with 6 steps here. You can then press Ctrl-Shift-G to ungroup it and ungroup it again to fine-tune every piece more easily. We actually made use of the base shape by changing the colors, adding shadow, or even adding icons to turn the ugly PowerPoint Smart Art into a nice infographics. You can even take a step further to insert image into the graph. By pasting an image and moving it behind the shape, click both of them and then click Merge Shapes and then Intersect, a technique that we covered in the image lesson. Let's try another one. Process. To create an infographics like this, go on to Insert and then choose Smart Art. Choose Process, locate the one you like this one, and again, click on the left panel and select the number of steps you want, and you can also resize the infographics to the level you like. Once you're happy with the number of steps, you can ungroup them and ungroup them again to fully customize it by, for example, applying gradient or shadow or change the color of the text to achieve this result. So it's actually pretty simple to create this kind of nice infographics in PowerPoint. So Smart Art is actually a very handy and versatile tool to create nice looking infographics. So to quickly wrap up, there are 2 kinds of charts, data charts and logic charts. So for data charts, it's actually quite straightforward. After you have inserted the chart, try to clean up as much as possible and then fine-tune the details. As for logic charts, there are 2 ways to create it. The first one is to tailor-make it, which is more often used for a list form of information, where you can decide if you want a column or row or grid or mixed layout. Or you can use Smart Art as a start, and then you can customize the chart using shape or icon or photo or color or shadow to make it more appealing. So charts are not only for data, it can also be a useful tool to help you create infographics.